Hello everyone, my name is Kjell Fischer. I am from Apprupt. The presentation will be held in English. I hope that's fine with everybody since I prepared the presentation in English, and I assume we also have some English-speaking visitors. The topic that I picked, products, channels and metrics, and is pretty broad I think, and I know that I only have 15 to 20 minutes and you guys want to get to the bar and have some drinks, so I'll try to speed things up. If I confuse anyone in the long run, please feel free to ask. At any time you have a question. Okay, before I start the presentation, maybe a few words on Apprupt. So Apprupt is, we say, the first affiliate network for mobile applications. We distribute mobile applications to a partner network of mobile websites and mobile apps, and the way we distribute them is in the form of an application store that links to the original source. So we do it for iPhone. You have a selection of certain applications that fit to the user structure of the certain partners. So, for example, on a Financial Times website, on the mobile website, if you visit it right now with an iPhone, you would find a selection of financial applications and productivity applications. Our partner network is about 35 partners big as of now and growing very quickly. Okay, so topic is app marketing, and as I said, I think the topic of app marketing is a very broad one, and in fact I could talk about this for hours. Could talk about how to optimize your logo, how to optimize landing pages, how to optimize the detailed description in the App Store, and so on and so on. But if you ask around and talk to developers which have actually tried different channels and have tried app marketing, my presentation could actually end with the next slide, which would be get featured. So this is a slide that shows the Where2 app. It's an application that is distributed internationally, and the guy has actually tried every measure out there, tried everything in terms of app advertising and app marketing, and the thing that worked for him best was getting featured. This is an example from the iPhone store. This is another example. This is a quote from an Android developer which actually was able to quadruple, is that the right word? Yeah. So he increased his sales fourfold just by getting featured on the Android market. But the thing with getting featured and with so many other things is it's nothing that is really based on learnings, and it's nothing that you can develop. You just get featured. In fact, if you have an iPhone application, sorry if this is too iPhone-centric, but I have an email for you that you can send the application to, and then hopefully you get featured. But this is nothing that is, there's no system behind getting featured. And in fact, what you will need to do, and I argue that you will need to do that if you want to be successful in app marketing, is you need to put in the effort to make learnings and actually develop a system that works for yourself and the product that you're trying to distribute. So again, app marketing is not only getting featured, that's part of it. But the goal is very clear in app marketing then. So the goal of app marketing is get as many downloads as possible in whatever way that you can. And the rule behind this is also very simple. There's only one rule that you need to pay attention to. And this is earn more than you spend in marketing, or spend less than you earn. If you don't earn anything, you can't spend anything. And if you put that onto, apply that rule to applications, then the rule would be earn more per download than you spend on getting that download, or spend less on customer acquisition than you actually earn from one customer acquisition. And we're talking about a lifetime value here. This is marketing slang, but it would actually mean that for the download, you need to look at all the revenues that you generate throughout the lifetime of one customer, not only with the initial download. But the fact, and I think this is also the reason why so many developers say that getting featured works for them that well, is that for many developers out there, the customer lifetime value, or the value of the earnings per download, look like this. Earning 60 cents per download. This is a one-off download for 79 cents and never make any revenues again. So what I wanted to really, as a bottom line, what you could say is, or what I wanted to look into is, you have to look at the spendings and you have to look at the earnings. These are the two angles to app marketing and acquiring new customers. And as a matter of fact, the things that we will see going on, you can you can see if this would work with a 79-cent app, and maybe you'd have to rethink your strategy. But you have to put metrics behind it. So I would like to look at 3 things that could actually increase the efficiency of your spending. The first thing is app advertising or appetizing. I'll try to rush through this because this might be a little too technical, but so this is a typical calculation that you will find in an ad network, like, I won't say the name, but this is actually the conversion rate from a click to a download that you'll find at the biggest performance marketing network out there, Apprupt. So, looking at these numbers, trying to acquire customers with app advertising would mean that you'd actually have to generate revenues from more than €7 per download. That in itself seems like a pretty impossible task. And then if you look at conversion rates, the one at Apprupt was 1%. And then if you look at conversion rates that are optimized, you really have leverage there. So these are numbers from our partner network, the way we distribute applications. We're able to reach conversion rates of more than 30, sometimes 40 or 50%. So what this really means is that you have to know your customer and you have to know where to find your customer. Just doing app advertising, buying reach, and then hoping that it will convert profitably into downloads will not work. But even if you have optimized your strategy and you know where to find your customer, it's still very complicated to actually acquire customers with performance marketing profitably. So the bottom line here is that you might actually need to think about other ways to acquire customers. And I would say I'd give you 2 examples of how this could work, but in the end it's always about the individual strategy. So this is a study from AdMob that looks into how customers or how users discover applications. And the bulk of them discover applications by typing in a name in the application store because they've heard of the app wherever. And the second largest part of this is users that actually discover the app by browsing through the App Store, through the rankings. This is also why getting featured is so important. But then the third and fourth largest percentages looking here, so almost half of the users ask, discover applications by word of mouth. Friends telling them about the applications, they hear about the application somewhere from a trusted source, also in social networks like on Twitter, sorry for calling it a social network, and on Facebook. So you might actually want to think about enabling your customers to recommend the application. You probably know this application, and they've implemented, social recommendations in a very effective way. I see this all the time in my social network, people sharing their scores on Doodle Jump. This could be a strategy for you to actually acquire customers efficiently without paying too much money. Then a second strategy could be, and we've heard this before today, would be the free paid or the freemium strategy. This has 2 reasons, or this is basically that there's one reason. So, and again, this is very dependent on where you want to publish your application, depending on what platform you're going to publish your application to, etc. Because